Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. Focusing on the lives, experiences, and viewpoints of motherlode women, the show features a rotating cast of 4 women of all ages and from all walks of life. Quick, upbeat, and fast-paced with a variety of topics, this 1-hour show will be aired live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tune in, it's Just Between Us.
Austin comes in dancing every intro. Hey, good morning.
Great.
Welcome to Just Between Us. The lovely Helen Bonner is here with us this morning, and I've missed you so much. And you, Missy, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you. I'm back. I'm Martha from Jackson.
I'm glad to be back, too. I'm Helen from Jackson.
And I'm Susie from Volcano. And we're going to pick our first 2 topics
Okay.
and get going fast today.
Dun, 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 dun.
That a girl. What's the first one?
Money.
Oh, good.
Oops.
Number 6?
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay. How much is comfortable?
Okay, and another one. Pick another one.
Dun, 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 dun. Uh-oh, this is a forbidden topic.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, boy.
I like it already.
Religion.
Oh,
Religion.
Oh, you and your rosaries. Number
Yeah,
5.
Number 5.
Oh, my rosary going to make it now.
Well, this is kind of more
Number
interesting,
5.
I think. Do you see religion changing in the next 10 years and how we will worship in the next 10 years?
Uh-huh. Well, nothing's going to change about this in 10 years. We have to go to an ad break. We're going to be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome back to Just Between Us. And our first one, ladies, is money, and it is how much is comfortable?
Money?
Yeah, money-wise, how much is comfortable?
I don't know. Just paying my bills and having enough money to go on a trip at least once a year and buy a house for my kids.
Whoa.
Here we go now. She's got
Takes a lot to make her
15
comfortable.
grandkids.
I got
and
15
9
grandkids.
and 9 kids.
Yeah,
So, okay,
like-
we're up
yes,
to 9 million.
Yes, only.
9 million would be enough.
I need to
You'd
win
be
the lottery.
comfortable with that.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be something? I finally bought a ticket for the, what is it?
Powerball.
Powerball,
Did
yeah.
you? Good for
so,
you.
And I haven't even checked it yet.
Have you been lucky with that sort of thing in the
No,
past?
not me.
If I bought it, probably, but I don't buy them
Well,
very
some people
often.
do seem to be really lucky.
There's
with
some
things
people
like
that have won the lottery twice.
Yes,
But
it's
I think
amazing.
what they
I'm
do.
not one.
No, I forget to play. What happens a lot of times is that they play the same. They play every number.
Oh.
And so soon, I mean, obviously, you're gonna. If you play every number, you're gonna get every number. It's
Yeah.
just the sequence, and how it's going to work. But I don't know how much is. I think what
just
would
enough,
be.
you
I
know?
think what would be enough is to make your children's lives comfortable and pay for your grandkids' education, because
That
you
would be
want them to
nice.
have a education to give to charities that are important to
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 help
you and
other
your house.
people, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, as long as your house is paid off and you can make your bills every month and you can do that, I don't know. I mean, to me, if you have an abundance, and a lot of people put people down that are multi millionaires, and they put them down because they don't have it. But what they don't understand is a lot of these people, they do so much work for the good, for under the table. They don't want their name out there.
Yes.
And they do a lot of work like that, and they have a lot of charities, and they're quiet about it. But is it the root of all evil? I mean,
Money
wonder-
is like everything else. It's
Yeah.
like you express yourself a lot through money.
Sure.
And I think people who have been, for one reason or another, very successful, whether it's their own talent or inherited or what, and are willing to return some of that to the wider culture, I think
Right.
I admire them tremendously. And it's even more so if they don't want their name attached to it, but
Right.
that's okay. For me personally, I've always felt like if I had enough, that I didn't have to be anxious about anything. I didn't have
Right.
to be anxious about whether I could pay my bills or anything. But I've always been the kind of person that I don't like to run up a lot of bills and then wonder if I could pay them later on.
Yeah.
As long as I don't
be
have to be
comfortable.
anxious about money, then then I have enough.
I think I'm rich then, because I don't worry about it one way or the other. It's like,
Great.
if I'm supposed to pay this bill,
Yeah.
somehow I will make the
And
money.
if I have a
But
little
you know,
extra this month,
I
fine.
always think that, and I always tell my grandkids and my kids, I have always told them, I was never educated. So whatever it is that you want to make, you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to set
And
your
don't
mind
say you're
to
not
it.
educated, because yes, you are. You're
Well, I'm
educated in life.
educated in life
Yourself.
now.
You're
But-
educated in life.
But since a little girl, I educated myself in life.
Martha, there
I
are
had to
people out
work
there
very-
that have doctor's degree and PhD degrees, and they're as stupid as a rat. And,
Well, I
and you're a
wouldn't
lot
say
smarter
that,
than
but
they are.
still, no, what I'm saying is that anybody that wants to put themselves out there and really work hard and intelligent in a way where they can commit themselves, money doesn't come to you that free. I mean,
No.
winning the lottery would be wonderful, but what are the chances? Millions and millions of
Absolutely.
Of course.
But Helen,
chances before you win.
right.
What
But I
you're-
think you're absolutely
odds are
right. But the
millions.
important thing is to put to the kind of determination
a
that you have
determination of-
shown.
yeah.
And we used to have a common phrase in the United States about people would talk about self-determination, and in this country prided itself on our citizens have the ability to determine their own fate.
Let me tell you something. I think you can only make as much as your brain lets
That's
you.
exactly
Do you
how
know what I
feel.
mean?
Right.
Because I had an opportunity to make a lot of money, okay? But I didn't feel comfortable.
Stand by, Austin.
So I just, said, oh, well,
No,
But haven't you found,
I
Helen,
don't wanna-
haven't you found sometimes you hear
scary.
these people say, I have this degree, I have that degree, whatever. God bless you. You've worked hard for whatever.
Yes.
But sometimes when it comes to common everyday things in life, they're as stupid as a rat. I'm telling you, they don't get. Titles don't mean a blasted thing. That's what I tell her all the time. Don't say you're not educated, because you are educated. You raised 9 children, and you've helped raise grandkids, and you ran a successful business. And you know what, my dear? A lot of people can't say that.
and you contribute to the community.
Yes.
oh boy, see my head going this way? Woo!
And-
I don't think of those things. I used to think that everybody did that. I used to think that everybody made time to help the community.
No.
We have a lot of good people in this
I
county.
You certainly
know.
do.
It makes me
This
happy.
county-
99.9% of the people in this county give.
I know.
And it's only the ones sometimes that make fools out of themselves or whatever that are out there. They're the ones that everybody talks about.
Think about the one like Shari Anderson, who herself does the Breath of Broadway every year, and it makes thousands of dollars for the food shelf.
There you go.
That's all
There
her
you go.
volunteer
We got to
time.
move on. I'm sorry, but we have to move on with our
Oh,
next
you need
one.
to pick
And
up
it's
another
no,
word.
it's
Oh,
do-
you already
do-
picked it up?
Yeah, it's do you see religion changing in the next 10 years and how we worship? Yes.
Of course.
I think religion is starting to mesh.
And
I think that religion is, I think to some people, not to everybody, it's important, but there are people out there that, I think religions, we're starting to learn more about different religions, and we're adopting things, and we're being more, what's the word I'm looking for, Helen? We're being more tolerant
Of other religions.
of other religions.
Right.
And as long as a religion treat your fellow man as you would like to be treated, I think that's
I think so too, and I think that I like what you're saying, because think of the past where Catholics were supposed to hate.
they're the only ones that go to heaven.
Right, and everybody else you're supposed to hate them or try
Right,
to convert
right,
them.
right.
That is that is so no
I was never
longer
taught
true.
that. Yeah.
And now we're even finally getting to the point where we can say, oh, even the Muslims are okay, instead of turning them into our enemies. But I think the most important thing that's going on with religion that I see is that a lot of people who turned their back on traditional religion are starting to miss something in their life, but they don't want to do that thing of
Right.
these people are bad and going to hell. They don't want to do that, and in my opinion, they shouldn't do that. But anyway, they're looking to come back in a more spiritual way, so that religion, instead of making it about others are wrong and you're right, making it about how can I be a better person? How can I be more forgiving of other people? How can I be more accepting
But see,
of
Helen,
other people?
and Martha will agree with me. Why is it that people automatically sometimes apologize for having a belief or being strong in their religion? This is where
You
we've
shouldn't
come.
have to do
You
that.
should never. I never apologize. I say, like I said, I say my rosary every day, and I know there's those people out there that make fun of me for doing it. I don't care. Because I will not apologize for doing that, and that's just makes me feel good.
And look what it gives you.
Absolutely, and let me tell you, there is nothing more powerful when you have a bad day or when you have a crisis ahead of you, to take time out and say, okay, I need help, I need guidance.
You know, that's one part of how you learn to calm down. They say that by either praying or by doing some yoga or some, what do you call that?
Everything is spiritual.
Spiritual.
Right.
Spirituality is part of who we are,
And it helps
whether
you.
we do it by
Meditation,
beating drums
yeah.
or meditating, I think it doesn't matter. But all the great religions, basically, and they have exceptions, but all the great religions around the world say the same thing. You know, that there is a force that some people call God, some people call Goddess, some people call the Great Spirit, whatever. But there is a force that we're a part of, and it's a part of us.
It's just the way you are raised to
Yeah.
believe, you know, and whatever you are raised to believe, nobody can take it away from you.
No.
Unless somebody brainwash you, you know.
Yeah.
But my beliefs are my beliefs, and ain't nobody going to
And they
touch
give
it.
Well,
you
I
strength,
think that- I think
and
that-
you can call on them.
Right.
What we saw
Right.
was very, very important. What happened in Boston, because like
Whoa.
Helen said, the Muslim religion. A lot of people are getting Muslims and jihadists mixed up,
Yes.
and they're two different things. The Muslims do not believe in Christianity or Judaism. We
No,
know that,
of
and
course.
that's their choice.
Like we don't believe in them.
But
Good call.
there's a lot of good Muslims out there
Mm-hmm.
that do not believe that that we should kill Christians and Jews, and that we should be accepting, and we try to do the same. Jihadists and those type of people, and your radical Islamic factions, those people there always have. They're always out in the forefront. We found that out in Boston when these two kids. That they were turned away. The one boy was turned away from his mosque due to the fact that he started preaching and started talking about being a radical. And hating the United States.
I felt
They
so
asked him to leave.
I felt so bad for the younger brother who
Followed.
was following his
Yeah.
radical big brother.
Yeah.
That was tragic.
Well, another thing too, they're thinking too, is that the younger kid was getting too Americanized, and he was smoking pot now and then, having fun, going to parties and stuff. And his brother got extremely angry with him, and these things are all starting to come out now, and got him and by the neck and basically, and told him they also feel that there was a murder of 4 people, like a drug murder, a few years before, and they knew this kid, and there was something they're trying to connect. They think that he might have been involved because these kids were known to have pot and stuff, and his younger brother was
didn't know
hanging out.
that.
So there's a lot more hidden to this story. But
A
how
lot.
totally sad, for this oldest one. He was not only told to leave the mosque, but then when he was when his death came and his brother ran over him and the whole
know.
thing, it
Tragic.
was an American who finally buried him in somewhere where the Muslim people would not bury him.
Isn't that
So,
amazing?
there's a lot behind the
That-
scenes and that we don't understand, and
that
that we.
says a lot for the American people.
I
Yes.
was so
You know,
happy.
that
I
says
was
a
so
lot for
happy
the-
that the media or whatever, or people, whatever, didn't turn that into another, oh, we got to get them because look
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
did
Yeah.
to us.
Well, they were nasty kids, but we got to move on now. Martha, we got to pick two new topics, please. You and we're going to do one free for all, and Helen, that will be yours, and then the last one will be
Okay,
Martha's.
let's see.
That's your free for all.
Free for all.
Okay.
And then you need to pick up another one.
Pick another one,
No,
Or
another topic.
Another topic.
another topic. Emotions.
Okay, and the number. Number 5.
Number 5.
No, number two.
Sorry.
Where am I?
Number-
I'm still thinking
what was it,
about
number
that
two?
kid. Number
Yes.
2. I'm still
Emotions.
thinking about
Well,
that kid.
this goes 1, 3, 3, so
Well, number 2.
I'm kidding.
Thank you. And what we got here? We've got, what emotion don't you handle
Oh
well?
boy, I
Well,
can
we'll
tell you
find
that
out when
one
we come
easy.
back.
Oh, you just noticed mine.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage.
Welcome back to Just Between Us, and we're going to talk. We have a free for all. Helen's going to take that one, but first we're going to discuss emotions. And what emotion don't you handle well?
Anything that has to do with a soldier leaving his children, whether it's a man or a woman, that emotion is like the worst for me.
Yeah.
It just, I get,
Children being separated from
I
their
can be in the
their
hospital with
parents.
my kids or my grandkids, and I can be strong. I can, just be there for them and be strong. And I have a little bit of emotion and hold their hand and be
Sure.
compassionate.
But you're strong at that
But
time.
I'm strong at that moment. But if I know of somebody that is going to, give services,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they coming back.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's
So it's-
just very emotional to me. I'm a wimp that way.
I am too that way.
Basically, fear, a type of fear.
I mean, just talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if it's lucky or just none of my kids were ever called or were never had the desire, to.
Well, your one son was in the
Yeah, one of my
Marines.
kids became a Marine, but he didn't follow up. He just did his service
Yeah.
and his term, and then he was done, and he was never sent anywhere.
I lost a friend,
you know.
a friend that I grew up with and whatever in Vietnam, and it was tough. it was very, very hard to know, and I was young, but to know that he was gone, it was really tough.
I had a son in Vietnam.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I've had many friends that have served, and it's very, very difficult when you go through something like that. But I think a lot of emotions that we have that are hard to control are the ones that I think we work the hardest to try to control, and maybe sometimes that's wrong.
Mine is anger.
Yeah,
If something makes me,
I can't possibly see you angry.
oh boy, it's the Irish in me. It takes a lot to get me angry, but if
Yeah.
I get angry,
But-
it's like a
yeah.
flash,
Yes.
and it's
yes.
like I can't stop it.
Honey, you're sitting between a Mexican and an Italian.
We would
Trust
be
me.
awful if
Yes.
we all got mad at the same time.
Look, three hells on wheels, boy. I'll tell you, the three
Well,
of us.
the
Mexican and
the
Irish and
emotions,
Italian.
the emotions that sometimes I cannot handle is when I know that you're doing something that is inappropriate, and I keep giving you advice on how
To change.
not to do that,
Yeah.
and please change because it's going to take you into a hole and you're gonna fall. And
But you know that old saying,
It's
you
li-
can take a horse to the water trough,
lead them
but
to
you
water,
can't make
but
him
you
drink.
can make them drink.
See, so,
And and it just really aggravates me to see some people because they come to me to ask me for my advice.
Yeah.
And I give them my advice,
Then they don't do
and
it.
they go back right into it.
But isn't that
just
human
like a drug,
nature sometimes?
just like a drug addict.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just it's
Some people can't change their behavior, Martha, until they hit rock bottom, or until they really get to the point where it's detrimental either to their health
Yes.
or their well-being, their livelihood or whatever. They never learn. And you know what?
Exactly.
You can't teach somebody. You can't help somebody like that. They have to do it themselves first. And you find that out a lot. I think one emotion that is difficult, like you said, anger, because there's times where you
just flash.
yeah, right. And I think
and that's bad. You know how many people are in jail for that flash moment?
yeah, look at Jody
But I don't
Arias.
want to kill anybody.
Yeah. No, but some people don't know how to control that.
Yeah.
Look at that little boy that killed his sister.
I know.
It had to be 1 second of emotion. Emotions, if you don't learn to control your emotions early in life, I'm very grateful to my grandfather. He taught me how to control my emotions because I used to be one angry little girl.
Well, you had reason to be.
But I learned to listen to my grandfather because every time he gave me advice, it was right and it would be good for
And
me.
it was helpful.
Yes. One time he never spanked me, but oh my God,
Words sometimes, yeah.
I remember every day of my life.
Yeah.
There is not a day that goes by that I don't remember something my grandfather said, something
that's
my
wonderful.
something that, yes, and I always
How
remember,
exciting.
yes, Grandpa, I hear you.
What was that one thing that he said? Think before you speak.
Oh yeah.
About what comes out of your mouth. What did he say?
I don't remember at the moment.
It was great. Anyway, we got to move on, and we're going to talk about Helen's book, Misdemeanors, which is a great book, and it's about it's a novel of the 70s.
Oh my Helen,
and it talks about
No, that's not me.
Oh.
I'm on the back cover.
It talks about the women's movement and all kinds of things that women went through in the 70s. And now, how did you come? Was that something that you've always been passionate about?
I was part of all that, obviously. I was, when the 70s hit, that was before I'd done my higher education, and I was a secretary at the state capitol, so believe me, I saw lots of stuff.
Oh, I bet you did.
And
Good and bad.
and
More good than bad, huh,
but I was
Helen?
also what a woman was supposed to be in the 70s, with my little high heels and my little bag over my shoulder.
Gloves, hat.
And
Yes.
proper and gloves and all that
You
sort
bet.
of thing, being very proper suburban wife. And so I was the before, and then Ms. Magazine hit, and I was one of those people that was, oh my gosh, there's another way to live, that we've been being good housekeeping ladies, and now I'm looking at a magazine that shows women doing things
We can
that
be
matter.
free.
Not that raising kids doesn't matter, but these
Yeah.
people were raising kids and doing things that
things that
matter.
And instead of being the nurse, you could be the doctor.
That's right.
Instead of being a secretary, you could be the
run
CEO.
The business.
Instead of being a secretary to an attorney, you could be the
Be the attorney.
So it opened up a lot of doors.
Oh, it really did. I didn't even know anybody. I didn't even know any women who did those kind of things that you just mentioned. And before the 70s hit, I think most of us had been so trained, it wasn't men who trained us, mainly it was magazines. All the women's magazines told us how to be nice, how to make sure our husbands were comfortable, stand at the doorway in your little nightie when he's upset, and put the kids to bed early. I mean, it was,
my God.
the young women today would not believe how we were trained. And then, of course, all the ads in the magazines were all about lipstick and all about fluffy
Oh, sure.
hairs. And and the young women today would have no idea, but I can tell them that when I was in high school, we were not taught how to play basketball. We were not taught how to play baseball. We were not taught anything that might give us muscles, because muscles were not feminine. I mean, it was
There's
awful,
so many
really.
things. And then the era came
And then,
of the hippies.
that's right. And the
Yes.
hippies was part of this
Oh,
time.
really? Yes, it
And
was.
my character is
Yes.
not me in this book. But everything I talk about in this book about what happens to my character either happened to someone
Close to you? or you
close to me or to me personally. And
Cool.
to sit with a bunch of women who were working on changing the laws so that women weren't excluded from
So
women
the
were
important
excluded
thing is,
from journalism.
Where can I
groups,
buy this
everything.
book? Now that you're talking about, where can I buy this book?
This
Oh,
one's mine.
Well, it just came out, so I haven't gotten it to the local
Oh,
bookstores
okay,
yet.
okay.
But I will get it to them probably next week. So within the next week, it'll be at the local bookstores. It's already on Amazon.
Oh,
I would
cool.
rather support the local
The
bookstores.
local business, yes.
Right.
But it is on
Yeah,
Amazon.
whenever you write a book, I get
Yeah.
it from here.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I.
Well, Helen, I'm anxious to go home and start this, and I know that if it's anything like, Martha read First Love Last, and she did the same thing as I did. We cried through the whole thing. It was very touching.
Very good.
And
Very good
and get it, and the cry dance was good too. I enjoyed
Well, in
it.
this one, you may not cry for me, but you may cry for Una, who is one of the main characters in the book, and she matters.
Okay, we're going to do our last topic, which is friendship, and
And the number is number one.
number one.
Number one, friendship should be number one. No. What is one ingredient in the recipe of life that makes a good friendship? Oh, that's gonna be
Okay, and then we're going to do a free-for-all. Martha, you going to
Okay,
take that
sure,
free-for-all?
I will.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Just Between Us, a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
Back to Just Between Us. I'm Susie from Volcano.
I'm Helen from Jackson.
And Martha from Ione and Jackson. Wow,
Okay.
time's going by so fast.
It is, ladies.
We're having fun.
Friendship. What is the one ingredient in the recipe of life that makes a good friendship?
You know, the first thing that came to my mind was trust.
Yeah.
When you have a good friend, there has to be trust.
Absolutely.
If there's no trust, there's no good friendship.
That's right.
You
And
know-
the worst thing they can do is to betray that trust.
Exactly. And there has been people in my lifetime that betray my trust, my friendship, but
But that's okay.
I always think, whenever something is not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Look,
right.
my husband, he was my best friend. I lost him because the trust was not there anymore after he was
Well, there
with
was a bit-
somebody else.
There was a betrayal of trust in
And-
your marriage vows, and,
Yeah.
and that's okay because these things happen. But then you lose that trust for that person.
And whether it's a person that you love, or it's a best friend, or it's even one of your children,
Sure.
to become friends. Because I tell my children, everybody goes, "Oh, my mom is my best friend." Well, first, I'm your mother.
Yeah.
Number one,
Right.
And second, I'm your friend.
There's a
Yes,
difference
I can
between-
be your best friend, but first you have to listen to what mother has to say.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
you're the parent first.
And all of us moms are
Yeah.
usually the ones that tell our kids,
Well,
No.
we were raised, and I'm sure Helen had the same as you did. You were raised that when your mother spoke, there was no going back and saying, "Yeah, but I think you're wrong," because those words never came out of our mouths because
it's amazing how now children, I'm changing the subject a little bit, how children talk to their parents now compared to
Yeah.
our days. I would never dare say, no, you're wrong, Mom. It's like,
my grown kids sometimes love to tell stories about how if they were out of line,
Yes.
I was like, don't you ever
don't
do
do
that
that.
again.
The one I love is when a child says to their
Close.
parent, I hate you, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
My answer is, I don't give a crap what you feel.
Yeah.
I'm still the mother here.
That's
and
right.
this is the way it's going to be. And I mean, when I hear that, you hurt my
I
feelings.
know,
I had to
come
take
on.
you. I had to take you, and crack you across the rear end.
but
You want-
friendship, or what was the name?
They
One
kid
hurt?
me about it, but
what was the
they're
question?
good people.
What was the question on
What is the one ingredient
Friendship.
in the recipe for friendship? What is the one ingredient you have?
Well, this
I
is
can't
going to
remember.
sound
Trust.
this is going to sound sappy, but I'm going to say it anyway. And believe it or not, I really believe it's love. When we have a really good friend,
You bet.
we love them, not physically, but there's a love that goes on when
It's a
you
sisterhood.
really
there's a
a
connection?
Yeah.
sisterhood. And you
The
know,
Jaja
you don't have to
girls.
worry about being betrayed because you know you love that person and they love you. And
You don't want nothing to
therefore
happen to
they
them.
would never betray that.
Right.
I have 3 friends that have been my friends for like 30 years,
That's wonderful.
and we have total trust in one another. We're as close, maybe closer than I am with my sister, and none of us would ever. Ever.
One thing that I always wonder, does anybody have a best friend, a male best friend of many, many years? I never hear people talk like
yeah,
that,
I have one. I
that,
have one
that you can
that I've-
trust,
that
that
I've
you love,
known
you can
for 30
respect,
years, and he would and he would support me in any way. When one of my books came out, he asked me to come. He teaches at a college, and he asked me to come to his college and talk to his students about it. It was cry dance,
Wow.
and many of his students were military and went to Baghdad, and they loved that book because I wrote about Baghdad so well. So he's been one of my best friends for.
Well, there's not too many people that have really best friends like we girls, get together because
I think women women. I think bond faster than men do.
well, like if I have a best friend, male friend, do I spend the night? No. I mean, you know
think
what I
some
mean? Like
people
with
do.
girls, girls, you can spend the night over their homes, and it's totally normal. If I have a male best friend for many years,
I know
and
people
I
that
decide,
have males for best friends, and sometimes they travel together and they do things together and stuff. I have
not too many though. I don't
No,
hear
no.
too many
That whole thing can complicate
with a man
the
and
issue.
a woman. Yeah,
It
Yeah,
can
that's-
complicate it.
believe it or not, it's true. You
Yes.
know,
I think that if you're closer in age, there could be a sexual tension, or there's always the sexual attraction. For me, I have a couple of male friends, two males that I'm extremely close to, and I can sit and talk to, and whatever. Are my 2 son-in-laws. They're wonderful kids. They're like sons.
Yeah.
They're the boys that I didn't give birth to, but
you
I-
trust.
Absolutely,
Yeah, trust.
they have always been there.
I think
and of
number
course my
one
husband.
is the trust.
Yeah, and
I
my
think
husband, of course,
trust,
is
yes.
number one. But sometimes you find other people. Another person that I don't do outside a lot of things with, or whatever, that I know I can sit down and talk to and keep my confidence and be good, is Cam. Cam is that way. Like, a lot of people see a different side of Cam. He's joking and this and that. But Cam is a good friend, and I could pick up that phone anytime and say, "Hey, I need to run something by
yes.
you," or I've
That's
had
one
this.
of the keys right there.
Yeah.
You can count.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
count on
call
this
them
person.
anytime.
And
You
vice
can-
versa, he can call
you
me
can
anytime.
tell him
Right.
your troubles and bawl and whatever.
Absolutely.
and it's okay.
I love my little Cam.
Yeah, he
Besitos to Cam.
Besitos to Cam is for sure. And Austin is he's like the same age as my grandkids. And yet Austin, I can sit and talk to him like I can my granddaughter. You can have an adult conversation with them, and they understand. I don't think friendship.
You know why you two
Has-
connect? Because he's playful.
That's exactly it. He dances goofy like I do.
I'm sexy, and I
I
know
find
it.
that irresistible.
I
find
wish we
that
could show that
irresistible.
on
My
TV.
husband loves to dance, and I swear that's the thing I
See,
like about him the most.
I think that's wonderful. Mine doesn't, but I think it's when you can have fun with somebody. I don't think age, sex. I don't think religion. I don't think race. I think it had nothing.
There's
nothing.
something intangible. It's hard to explain.
Absolutely. And
There's
I think that
different
when you
people
look
that
at
you
that,
connect in a different
You
way.
just
Yeah.
connect.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, sometimes I see Helen and I just went,
Well, she makes everybody just want to do that. But it's the same thing with the kids here. Like I said, with Tommy and Alan and Mr. Dancer
Now,
there, you
To me,
connect.
irresistible.
You have fun, and we added a new member, Sarah, to our family,
Oh,
and
cool.
She's
Hi,
just
Sarah.
great, and she'll be down in the pits and as nutty as the rest of us pretty soon. But God bless her, I have to say that for her. But when we talk about friendship, I think communication. But the most important thing about communication is listen.
Listening.
Say nothing and listen.
Listen.
And that means more to the person that needs to vent and get things off their chest.
And sometimes that's so hard for me to do. I want to say,
You don't understand.
I want to, well, tell me this and this. Well, why is that? Or how come? And they just want to talk.
We know what we say, Helen, go take a nap. And when you get up from your nap, all this will come to you. You will be enlightened. And you will know what we were trying to tell
I
you.
like that. I want to be enlightened.
Honey, you can enlighten all of us. Believe you me. You've got more life in you, and you've seen it all and done it all. I really admire and respect that. It's a lot of fun to read about things that you've done and things that you've accomplished, and
You know, I've made a lot
your
of
heartaches.
I've made a lot of mistakes
Haven't
in my
we all?
life, but I like to think that
that's why you're
I
successful.
like to think that
Yeah.
every
If you
mistake
learn.
I made taught me something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think we
Well,
have
that's
to make
like
mistakes.
the book that Roberta Pickett wrote.
Right.
It's about, about that same thing, that every time you make a little mistake, if you don't make mistakes, you're never going to
never
learn
will.
in life,
You're living trying to live
Yes.
too
You know,
safe.
that's unfortunate because a lot of people, a lot of times, they go around life and it's always, they've got the financial means and they've got every creature comfort on God's green earth, and they're able to do all this, and one little thing that comes along and upsets them, you think it's the end of the world, and to us it's like, that's it?
So?
And the problem with that is what?
Yeah.
You walk in my shoes for a day or, whatever. And no matter what, there's always somebody out there that has more challenges than we can ever imagine.
right.
And it's like these parents now of this child that was killed, and they
Oh,
found out
that breaks my heart.
that their son is
It's a
responsible.
more horrible thing
How
that I
can
can
you
ever
walk?
imagine.
How can you walk in these people's shoes?
Oh.
How can you honestly
They
say you
didn't
know what
lose-
they feel?
They did not lose just one child.
They lost two.
They lost two children.
And who knows, their marriage.
And probably
How
their
do you-
marriage too.
Yeah.
People don't get over things like that.
what happens in cases like that, we start blaming each other.
Yeah.
You didn't help me with my son. I kept telling you there
Right.
was something wrong. Or, that kind of stuff happens. in
Tragedy has to
families.
bring you
It
closer.
happened. It happened to some friends of mine. It was an accident. The father had taken the boys hunting, and when they came back, the guns weren't taken care of properly, and one brother accidentally shot the
God.
other brother. It was heartbreaking.
Oh, yes.
And what you said, they needed to lean. The parents needed to lean on each other, but that isn't
No.
what happened.
They go
Each
apart.
of them,
One
the,
of my
the
employees,
mother
yeah.
could not forgive her husband
Right.
for what had happened, and he already felt bad enough, and it just
It's-
split them. The
yeah.
Oh
whole
my God!
thing.
One of my employees, she used to
Tragic.
work for me, and her son got killed with a gun. He was like 13, 14 years old, and that was devastating, just devastating.
See, we just, my mother's best friend lost 3 of 4 of her children.
Oh,
Yeah, and all different things. One was Vietnam, one was a car wreck, and one was illness.
Oh.
And my aunt buried 2 kids 18 months apart from cancer, 2 out of 5.
Wow.
So I like I say, God bless these people that they've got strength. We're going to take a short break and come back and hit you up with our hot topic of the day.
whoa.
Just between us. a spontaneous, intuitive live television show with topics that are intended to inspire, delight, educate, and encourage. And now back to Just Between Us.
That's
Topic.
a girl's
Ready.
voice out
I
there.
know, it's Sarah.
Sarah. Hi,
All right.
Sarah.
Earlier this week, ladies, it was reported that a travel agency in Orlando, Florida, offers family the options to hire disabled veterans to work as VIP tour guides. Now, what they do is the service costs about $130 an hour or $1,040 a day and allows a family of 5 to skip lines at all major attractions such as Disneyland and places like that. But some feel that the service exploits people with special needs. What do you think? I think you people are ignorant that you are exploiting people with special needs.
I don't understand.
You're disgusting.
How the parents can do that to a child.
Wait a minute, doesn't it say veterans?
No,
Disabled veterans?
no.
Oh, I thought that's what it said.
No,
Oh, cut
it's people
this.
with disabilities. I don't, and it's mostly people that are mentally have challenges and people that are physically have challenge. Whether you put a disabled veteran in there, I don't care who you put in there. What the hell's the matter with you people? I mean, if out of the goodness of your heart you say, "Hey, let's bring somebody with us that's in a special place where they can't get out, they don't have the money, they have these homes that take care of people that can't
Oh,
function
yeah.
on their own. Let's take one or two of these people and let's embrace them and bring them into our family and show them a day at Disneyland or wherever these other places are."
But
What the
on-
hell's the
on
matter with people?
On purpose. And
To
this
skip
is a-
in line?
And this is a real company, right?
Yes,
This is a real company.
which we're not going to give out the name, but and from
I
what
wish
I gather,
we could give the name.
If they're giving the money they get for that to the disabled person, then that makes sense. But if they're not, then it's pure exploitation of the disadvantaged, and it should be against the law.
I mean, seriously now this is going to sound cruel or comical, but what do? You call up and say, "I want somebody that doesn't have this limb or somebody that has this mental disability or this person that
Oh,
is
that's
emotionally."
really
I mean, come
disgusting.
on. It's like you're not buying a car here.
Yeah.
This
The
is
person.
renting a human being for a day so you can skip lines at Disneyland or whatever.
You
That's
find
it,
the
right
most
there. What you said is, yeah.
discussions to talk about.
It's what I do.
I know.
We step
And he
we-
loves it.
And you know what? We have stepped back 50 years. We have stepped back 50 years, and this is more than exploitation.
Dude.
This is cruelty.
I'd rather talk about where I'm going this summer. What are we doing this
Well,
summer?
whatever you do, don't
Camping.
call these schmucks on the
Actually,
phone.
I think we've said
No.
enough about that. We made it pretty clear that it's
you
exploitation.
know what,
there's only
they're
so
not-
much I
and
want to
it's-
talk about
Yeah.
that.
I
but
hope that
I'd
they.
rather
I
talk
hope that
about-
the people of Florida. I hope that this is exposed and this type of behavior stops. And if you are a good enough person and you want to make somebody's life happy
Take
by
them to
taking with a day,
Disneyland.
do it out of the goodness of your heart. Huh?
Prices, the rates.
The rates. $130 an hour. It's $1,040 a day to go and to rent someone to go with you so you can skip lines at
Good.
attractions.
Good, give that money to the person who needs it.
Give it as a donation
But
and take that
still, I
person
don't-
with you.
No, I don't care. That's just not right.
It's just not
No.
right.
That's just not right. I don't care if it's $1,000. That's disrespectful to the person,
Do it
to
out of
the
the goodness
child
of your
or the
heart.
person. Yes, if you're going to do something like that, do it for a person that really
And even that person should be free to choose
to
to
choose
do that
whether they
or
want
not
to do or
it.
not. Yeah,
Even if
Wow.
they're not.
It's like, I don't want
Wow.
to talk about this, but it's like some people get people that are disabled to take them into places just so that they can sue companies.
Oh.
I know that because I'm
I didn't
involved
know
in on the American Disability Act.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I had somebody like that one time.
It's the same thing. They exploit people because they want to prove a point and to sue. And this poor person is just sitting
this
there.
woman, let me tell you about this woman. she comes in with this little old lady that could not move. This lady could not get up out of that chair and go to the bathroom on her own. I know, because she was like,
Poor thing.
I mean, could not move. She comes out and starts yelling at me, and this is many, many years ago, and starts telling me, that your bathroom is not ADA compliance. And I said, somebody else beat you to it. I said, somebody already had sued me over it. So she just laughed. But
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that it's just a terrible form of cruelty. There is
It is.
no excuse for anything like this.
Money can
to-
do
Well,
horrible things.
There we,
That's
when
why.
we talked about how
Yeah,
much is enough, there's
we're
not
getting
enough.
signals
There's
up
not
here.
enough to pay these people to stop. We're going to take a short break and get our blood pressure back down to normal. Be right back.
How do we handle our emotions?
Breathe.
Talk to us about
You're watching Amador County's #1